Have you ever had a conversation with someone where you're trying to listen in and focus on what they're saying, but there's just something slightly weird that just keeps taking your attention away? Maybe it's a weird eyebrow or they've got something in their teeth, and no matter how hard you try and concentrate and listen to them, you can't focus on anything else. This hair is exactly that. Okay, so Venom, Let There Be Garbage. This movie is just so weird. I don't know what they were going for here. The story is, well, the studio just wanted Venom to go off against Cletus Kasady, aka Carnage, and I don't think they really cared how it happened. Okay, let's start off with the good parts. The CG is mostly good, and I think I like Tom Hardy and Venom together as this pairing. Problem is that I think the writers had 5 or 6 jokes that they wanted Venom to be in, and they sacrificed nearly everything else just to get him into those situations. Is it weird to say this whole movie was a meme? Like, just a joke of itself? It's an hour and 30, but honestly, it could have been just 30 minutes. It would have been just as fleshed out. And the tone of this film is just all over the place. It's trying way too hard to be funny, but then tries to also have this seriousness to it. You've got Carnage as the main villain, so they're trying to make him scary, but it's just contradicting everything else you've seen leading up to it. Characters are just moving around from one scene to another, just spouting off these one-liners as if they're in a early 2000s poor comic book movie or something. If someone could pick up Tom Hardy and Venom's character and plop it into another movie by another studio maybe, I think I might like the character. Carnage, on the other hand, oh boy. He's played by Woody Harrelson and his wig, and it's just painful to watch. He also has this girlfriend with superpowers? None of that's really explained. In fact, even the coming together of Eddie Brock and Cletus Kasady is contradictive. Spoiler alert, but it's not a huge spoiler, and I don't think it's really much to spoil, to be honest. He's not Carnage until about halfway through this film, and at the end of the first Venom, when he wants to meet Eddie Brock, you can only assume it's because he is already Carnage, and he wants to meet someone else similar to him. You know, meeting him as if they were alike. He even does the whole "Let There Be Carnage" quote. Phrase. But he isn't Carnage there, and there's no reason for him to ever say any of these things. There's no reason for him to want to meet Eddie Brock. And he also knows way too much about him considering he's been in solitary confinement all of his life. It's just one example of how this movie makes no sense. And I could sit here and pick it apart scene by scene, but that would honestly be putting more thought into the story than I think the writers did. And I'm really not up for that, to be honest. Something must have gone wrong behind the scenes, right? Studio involvement or something, maybe? It's directed by Andy Serkis, and Tom Hardy assisted in writing the story, so I was kind of expecting more. I don't know, maybe this film's enjoyable if you switch your mind off completely, if you just want to see a scene with Venom crying to a rom-com, and other scenes like that. And don't get me wrong, there were times where I did laugh in this movie, but I don't know if it was from finding something genuinely funny or from me sitting there just puzzled at what I'm looking at. Literally, I think the only thing that mattered in this movie was the mid-credit scene, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but me bringing it up inadvertently probably gives you an idea of what to expect. This whole movie just felt like they had to do another film before they could do the third film, and they've also just wasted such a good opportunity that is Carnage. I just cannot recommend this movie. Woody Harrelson is such a weird choice, and every other character in this movie is so two-dimensional. There was no thought behind any of the motives, any of the reasonings, why the story was doing what it was. It felt like all they wanted to do was set up for these like mwah mwah punchline jokes, and they didn't care what they sacrificed to get there. I'm sad that was our cinematic debut of Carnage, but who knows, maybe in 10 years time. Right, okay, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Have you already seen it in the cinemas? Maybe you thought differently to I did. Probably not hard, I think very lowly of this film. If you thought differently, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on the movie were. And if you liked this video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, it really does help. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews on movies, anime and video games. Until next time guys, take care. Bye bye.